Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Vancouver Rain Draft to Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 23. So in last episode, we started up the Year 5 season, and we did our scouting due diligence for the most part, and we found some pretty good players, I think, for this upcoming draft that hopefully we will be able to pick up with our pick. Also, we have some good progress from some of our young guys like Giancarlo Sixto, who is currently in the running for Rookie of the Year. Guys like Garth Howe have been really struggling, but eventually they will get a lot better. He is up to a 79 now at 21, so he should start being more of a good starter like next season and stuff like that. Right now, he's getting absolutely lit up because the team is not that good in terms of quality. You can see he's got 5.62 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP, and his WAR is not terrible. It's not great, but it's not like the worst WAR I've ever seen, so that's at least a good sign. But that FIP is absolutely tragic. So he's having a little bit of a rough time. He's definitely not going to win Rookie of the Year, but hopefully he could be a future Cy Young winner for our team in the future. And then also guys like Gary McAllister have been pretty good so far in AAA. So we've been getting some good progress from some of our guys down there in the minors. Some of the guys that are in our MLB team have been doing okay. Steve Schneider, for example, hasn't been doing too bad, but he hasn't been really that lights out either. So I'm just really much hoping that a lot of our top prospects continue to develop and we could get this team filled out with players that we've drafted in the next few seasons. But anyways, before we get into the draft, I do have a couple comments to go over. In the first couple comments we got are from Nick Bucker Barons OC. The first one says, Omar Cruz is more of a designated hitter, to be honest, but he would be a great offensive catching option. He will develop. Gustavo Ramirez is my favorite option, though, to be honest. I would say Gustavo Ramirez, Trevino, and Cruz. That is my order of talents. So in terms of the draft, he's saying to go with Gustavo Ramirez if we have the chance to. We do not have the first overall pick this year, so that's the only problem. But he's saying to go with Gustavo Ramirez, and I highly agree with that. As you can see, he will be a pretty much a stud player. He's a guaranteed A, I'd say. It's just all about if he's a low overall or if he's actually a high overall. The good thing is he also does have a lot of interest, and he also has a low bonus demand because he was projected to go in the second round. So yeah, Gustavo Ramirez likely will be our pick if he is there at number 6, because we aren't drafting till 6th, which kind of sucks considering we weren't really that good of a team at all. And then also he was saying Trevino would be the second option for him, which is also one I agree with because we do need a second baseman prospect, and Antoine Trevino looks like he's going to be a pretty good player. He's going to have a really high overall out of the draft, it looks like, and then also his potential should be pretty good too. It's not as high as Ramirez is, but it should be still pretty good. And he's also got the interest, which is great. The bonus demand is a little bit higher up because he was projected to go 11th overall, but still he would be probably a slam dunk of a pick. And then the last player that he was mentioning, which is Cruz, the catcher. If we go back to catchers, he looks pretty good as well. Pretty much in the same type of range. Might be more of a project type of player. He has the lowest interest, so that's the only problem. But we should be able to still get that interest up there when we get to signing our prospects. Also, I was asking Nick about what he thinks about our new scouting method, and he says maybe a little bit longer, but good job. I think MLB The Show often does growth and regression based on the past seasons instead of off their overall versus production, which is stupidish, but he is killing it. So I think he's talking about Pip, because Pip dropped down in potential, which is a little bit weird. But in terms of our scouting system, he's saying to maybe scout out a little bit longer. So I think what we'll do next year's draft is maybe do a general scout for like 4 weeks or 5 weeks instead of 3 weeks, and then we will individually scout players out. But I think our new system worked out quite well. And then we have 4 comments from Rebecca Weiss Woods. The first one says, I'm finally caught up. Sorry if you implemented any of these suggestions as I'm typing this out at the beginning of the video. So here's the suggestions that we have from Rebecca. The first one says, Garcia for a catcher to look at. Then I would look at a shortstop. They usually can be switched to second base if needed. Then I would scout another relief pitcher. So for our 3 priority spots here, because we do have 1 more week of scouting, we will look at doing that right now. So let's do that before we get into those other comments. So Garcia, we will add you for one of those players that we're going to scout out a little bit more about. And then a shortstop, which we didn't really scout out any shortstops, I don't think. Did we? No, we didn't really. Let's get out this guy. Might be more of a project shortstop, but still. And then also another relief pitcher we will add. Let's see. Wait, is this the right scout even? Yeah, this is okay, I guess. We'll scout out a relief pitcher. We'll scout out Grissom, why not? There you go. So that's what the final week of scouting is going to look like. The next comment from Rebecca says, for players, I use these ratings for their leagues: 50 and below in A, 62 to 65 in Triple A, and 75 plus in the MLBs. So basically, I guess if they're above 50 to all the way to 61 overall, they should play in Double A. If they're above 61 to 65, they should be in above I guess above 60, 62 and above, they should be in AAA, and if they're 75 and above, they should be in the MLBs. So, sounds good on that. And then the last part says you might want to be more hands-on with the lineups and injuries. By auto-placing, the AI will move around players or take them out completely. Especially watch your closers as they're being used as setup men only. Try to make sure they're only in closer roles. If they suck, then you could change them to relief pitcher instead. So, yeah, with the lineup, I'm not going to be more hands-on just yet. Maybe once we start getting prospects actually in, like once we have like a full-on roster. But for right now, I don't think it matters too much. But most of our guys are in the right spots. I think I might have changed up something. No, I didn't. I don't remember if I changed something before our last episode, but I think I might have changed around some of our batting order a little bit. But like the lineup wise right now should be fine for pretty much all leagues. I think. Let me just double check on this. Vasquez, Montero, that's good. McAllister, that's good. And Ken Robert is being used as a setup guy, but that's okay because Dennis Lake is the better closer prospect. So, yeah, that's good. That is good. Okay, so that was the comments I got in the last episode. So let me open up my spreadsheet because I am still keeping track of who we're drafting in the series. And that way I can kind of remember of who we might be able to draft in this episode. So, yeah, let's get into this draft already because we're already a little bit into this episode. Don't want this episode being too long for you guys, but we do need to get to that draft as soon as possible and start drafting some players and finding out how good they actually are. Hopefully we have a successful draft here ahead of us, and hopefully we find the best player possible, but it kind of sucks that we have 6th overall only. Let's go no on that, and we are ready to enter the 2027 draft. Let's go. Let's just add all the prospects that we scouted out in no specific order because I don't really care about reordering these prospects too much. We already know who we want to go with potentially. Maybe I should reorder them based on how much percentage I've scouted though, because we did scout out a lot more prospects this year since we did like a general scout. Some of these guys are only like 10% scouted, but at least it gives us a better idea than just going completely in the dark, because usually in later rounds we have just completely just given a random chance on a guy, and sometimes it's turned out to be pretty good. Other times it hasn't been. Okay, we should be almost near the end of this damn list. Damn, there's a lot of players we scouted out this year. A lot more than I actually expected. But we will definitely find ourselves some good players, and hopefully a lot of them have interest in later rounds so we could actually sign everybody, because that would be great. Because we have had problems in the past where we haven't been able to sign every prospect we drafted, right? So if we are able to do it this year, then our scouting method is starting to work a lot better. Okay, maybe I shouldn't add literally everybody, because it seems like there's literally like 100 players I've scouted out in a little bit. Okay, I think that's finally it. Perfect, okay. Let's go to the draft here and see what we're working with. Hopefully we get a one of those players that we're looking at. So hopefully it's either Ramirez, Trevino, or Cruz that's available at 6. There should be at least one of them, my guess, but who knows, maybe all 3 will go before our pick, which I really hope not. So let me reorder this a little bit with the top guys being up there. And then after that, we should probably make sure it's players with high scouted percentage. Oh, that guy's actually lower. This guy needs to be higher up than Leggett. This might take a while if I do it like this, though. I don't want these episodes to be super long. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to keep it like that. Let's just get into this draft and see what we can pick up here. Hopefully we get what we want. Because I think Gustavo Ramirez would be like a really good starting pitcher for us to have in the mix with like Garth Howe. Who is this at number 1? It's Justin Sanchez, which is a guy I've never scouted out at all. but he might have a really high ceiling. Who knows? He's a first baseman. And usually first basemen don't really grow to be super high overall, but who knows? Maybe this guy's a generational player. He was projected to go 16th, and our scouts had him at 13 now, even though they didn't scout him out at all. Let's see what goes at number 2. Who is going at number 2? It is going to be to the Phillies. Who is it going to be? Oh, it's Gustavo Ramirez. Damn it. Yeah, of course. I figured since he was a starting pitcher that he would go early. So Gustavo Ramirez is off the board, unfortunately. He is going to Philadelphia. And it's not great. Oh, well. At least we have a chance still on our other guys. Let's see who's going at number 3. To the Detroit Tigers, looks like a short guy. It is going to be Marco Francisco, who our scouts had at 32, and the MLB had at 37. Interesting. So I think we almost are guaranteed to get one of our guys as long as Washington and Tampa both don't take one. But sucks that Gustavo went already, but I'm okay with that. Sammy Campos goes, so that's not one guy we scouted out. He was projected to go 60th. Jeez, that's a bit of a reach, at least in our opinion. MLB had him at number 2, though. And Alexis Costa goes, which means we have Antoine Trevino coming to Vancouver. I'm really excited about this one, though. Look at the interest. It's at 61% already. Yeah, he's going to be pretty good. So Antoine Trevino, I think, is definitely going to be our pick here. Our scouts do have him a little bit higher. The MLB has him a little bit higher as well. So, yeah, Antoine Trevino, welcome to Vancouver. At least we got one of our guys, and there he is. He could also play in the outfield, which is nice. So if we want to use him as an outfielder, at some point we can, but I think he is going to be a pretty good second baseman for us. Who knows, maybe he's the best player in this draft, but I think it's going to be probably Gustavo Ramirez. That's the best player in the draft. Lucius Leggett goes right afterwards. I did scout out that guy, I think, a little bit in the last week. I do remember this guy. Let me actually go to our next pick, and then we'll see who went also in the first round. Looks like a lot of our guys are off the board, unfortunately. Virgil Pack, I did scout out that guy. Bobby Gray also goes. A lot of the pitchers that we were looking at. Vale. Omar Cruz goes all the way here to the Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, it's a lot of starting pitchers in this first round, I think. So there you go. Our pick at 38 now. What are we looking at? I'm going to look through for 100% scouted guys. Maybe I should have actually reorganized this beforehand. Maybe I'll do that next year. These guys, there's 100% scouted guy. We have 3 minutes, so I will move him to the top of this list. Claudio Cosmo. I do remember scouting him out. We do need relief pitchers, so that might not be a bad option. Anybody else that's 100% scouted? The rest of these guys are not scouted out really at all, so we might have random shots in the dark. There's another one, 45 to 60. Let's move Ponce all the way up here. Another relief pitcher, so we might be taking a reliever at this spot. Let's go to the bottom of this list almost. There's got to be some more 100% scouted guys, right? Yeah, we scouted out way too much guys that I should have probably reorganized this, but oh well. Some of these guys have, like, no interest, though, apparently. Ooh, 64% interest in potentially a really high ceiling. I think Fabio Gutierrez might be my pick here, actually. Let's get him up there with the Ponce and stuff. Yeah, I think it's got to be between these three. He is 70% scouted, so he's looking good. He might not have a super high ceiling when he's 22. That's the only problem. And then these 18-year-olds might be around the same. They might be a project-type players, though, too. Do I risk it with Gutierrez? Where is he supposed to go? Our scouts have him up at 106, though. 84, 65, and we're at 38. Jeez. Is there a way to take timeouts in this draft? No, there's not. Let me go to the bottom of this list. Yeah, I should have really reorganized this because we have way too much players. A lot of these players are supposed to go way even later, though. It actually is in order already, so I guess we do not have a player that's supposed to go around this spot, so I have to go with one of those three. I'd probably go with one of the ones that are 100% scouted, but they have low interest. That's my problem. Well, we do need relievers. This guy has a lot of interest, though, but we should be able to get him next round. So I am going to go with Ponce here. Just because he's 100% scouted, he has actually he has a really high bonus demand though. I don't like that. I might take him anyways. Let's just take him. He might not even be able to sign with us anyways, but we'll take him. Oh yeah, we have the next pick here too anyways. Man, I don't really know. Let me go back to view prospects, go to our scouted out ones here. Let's see. This guy might be really good. He might be also a project. Quintero. Yeah, maybe we should have taken one of these guys instead. Danny Paquette might be really good, but he's only 15% scouted out. This guy's 35%, 35%, 40%. It's a catcher. It is oh, it's the guy we were just like scouting out right at the last week. He hasn't been really scouted out like that well. Might be a really good fielding guy of the future. Yeah, we should have probably went to this screen first, maybe. Let's see. Our scouts have this guy at 43, Danny Paquette. So I think it's between him and Brian Morris. And Brian Morris has been scouted out more. He has a lower bonus demand. He might have a really low overall potential, though. But we're going to take a chance with Brian Morris here. I think we are going to have a little bit of a rough draft just because some of these other guys aren't fully scouted out. But who knows, maybe we'll actually find some really good steals there. But let's move to our next pick here. Gutierrez is still there, so I think we're going to have to go with Gutierrez at some point. But let me go back to view prospects. This guy's 35% scouted, and he might be a really good steal. Tommy Paulson. He might be a really good steal here. It is a pitching-heavy draft, I think. And there's also a catcher that might be good, too, but 15% scouted only. We do need catcher prospects. This guy has unknown interest, though, apparently. A lot of these guys have unknown interest. Miguel Paniagua? I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. This guy might be solid. Another starting pitcher. This guy might be really good, too. Oh, yeah, this guy might be our pick here. He might have like an A potential guaranteed. He might be a project regardless, but he might have a really high potential. So, Pablo Silva. We're going to take you with this next pick. We're taking a lot of pitchers, but I think some of them are going to be pretty good. Okay, let's move to our next pick here. And damn, Gutierrez just went off the board right afterwards. Was that a risk? Probably. He had a lot of interest, so I could have brought him in, but oh well. My voice is trying to go on me for no reason. Kyle Chance, do we want to give a chance on this guy? Let's actually just take a look at this, see who's scouted out the most. Brad Byrne, not super high ceiling. Harvey Sabori, might be good. Wasn't supposed to get drafted, but we have him at 110. I think I might go with Sparbori here. Because some of these other catchers we might be able to draft next round, to be honest. Like, this guy might actually have a really high ceiling, but he's going to be a really low overall. And we don't know his potential, or his interest. This guy has high interest, so there's a good chance we'll be able to sign him. So we're going to take Harvey Spabori, another starting pitcher. Try and build up that rotation for the future as much as possible in this draft. Our next pick here, let's go to view prospects. Looks like some of those guys went off the board already, unfortunately. Gene Castaneda, not super high on him. This guy might be okay in terms of somewhat potential, but not that great of an overall. This guy has a high interest and potentially a high potential too, but he's going to be a low overall at 22, which means he's probably never going to make it. But, I mean, I could still take him anyways, but I don't like that he's going to be a low overall at 22, probably. I could still take him, though, because he might be better than that. William Halpern, as a catcher prospect, he's going to be a low overall at 19, but more of a project guy, but, I think I'm going to take William Halpern here. Okay, sorry, I had to make a cut. My voice is just going on me for no reason, but, yeah, I think we're going to go with one of the catchers here. I think we'll go with Halpern, because he might be like a good like project type player. He might not be the best player at all, but who knows, we'll take him. We do need catcher prospects. Might as well add one that has high interest. And in our last pick of the draft, who do we want to go with here? Let's go to view prospects, see who is scouted out the most. 40% on Hennessy, who might be okay, but he's not going to be anything spectacular. 89. Ooh. This guy might be a good project starting pitcher as well. Delman Rangel. Yeah, Delman Rangel might be my pick here. Anybody with a super high overall. This guy's injured, unfortunately. Probably why he hasn't got drafted yet. Eddie Rosales, only 15% scouted. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Delman Rangel here. Another starting pitcher, but might be a good one. So we'll take Delman Rangel there. I think this draft has a lot of good starting pitchers in it. So we'll see if our scouts are right with that. But there is our draft. A lot of pitchers in that draft. I think we mostly took pitchers. I don't know if we took any other than Trevino or whatever. Yeah, Anton Trevino, our first round pick. I think we didn't take any pitchers, or not any pitchers, any infielders, I should say. Kurt Kellenberger has suffered an ACL sprain. Oh, that's one of our draft picks, but it's a deep potential guy. So I think he might end up having like a career-long injury at that point. That's not great. Let's skip the home run derby because we know nobody's going to make it for us. Let's see who made the all-star team. But actually, I can check the day after the all-star game. I think it is. I know I've seen Tugi check it through a different way. Let's go no on that. It's probably Cardenas, my guess, or unless Sixto made it. Let's go all-star voting. Who made it? Nobody for us here. Actually, we want to stay in the AL. Let's see. Did we get anybody making it for us? It said that there was one player that made it for us, so we should probably have at least one. I didn't see anybody unless I'm completely blind. Yeah, I don't think anybody actually did make it for us because we're not in the NL, right? So, okay, there's that. Let's advance one more day, and we should be able to start scouting out or signing our prospects soon. Maybe it's actually one more day than this. Auto-fix lineups. No, one more day. Okay, we should. Yep, there we go. Let's sign our draft picks, get rid of these notifications. But, yeah, hopefully we get everybody since most of the players I think we drafted had high interest. So, that's a good sign. Let's get rid of those notifications. These notifications are really annoying. There you go. That's good. Okay. Now it is time to sign our prospects and then see how good they are. So, how much money we got? 12.92. Let's get Trevino first because we should be able to get him. Let's give him the initial contract offer. And he's already signed. Perfect. Wow, we already got our first rounder. That's a good sign. We have a lot of guys with interest, so we should be able to sign a lot of these guys out of the gate, which is great. So let's we can't sign Ponce yet because Ponce's interest is not super high yet. Let's get Sparbori. He's gonna be cheap. There you go. Sparbori's already accepted. That's easy. Pablo Silva. He declines the initial contract. Okay, Pablo. Let's get the interest up there on a couple of these other guys that need interest to be a little bit higher to sign them. Wait, what was that? I'd say. No, I want to switch it to manual. Jeez. Let's advance a few days here till the next contract window. There we go. I think that's good. Perfect. Okay, so let's try and get those other guys with 50 plus interest on here. Silva, let's get you up a little bit more. 66. There you go. Pablo Silva has accepted. That's nice. And then we have just a couple more guys to sign that need more interest. Some of these guys might not get signed till the last day, unfortunately. Just because their interest is really low right now, but hopefully we could get everybody. Let's see what we're working with right now. We need to get Ponce's interest up higher. He's definitely not going to be a super high overall potential guy, it looks like, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. Let's go another week, or not another week, another 3 days. See if we can get these guys in. Hopefully we can. Anybody above 50%? Not yet, but getting close. Let's take Rangel out of there for a second here. And get William Halpern some interest, because we do need to sign him up, hopefully. Let's go to here. I don't care about trades that have happened in the league. There we go, another 3 days. Are we above 50% interest on some? Yes, we are. Okay. Ponce, will you accept this initial offer? Yes, you will. Nicely done, Ponce. Okay, that's perfect. We just have these 3 guys left. And I should be able, in these 9 days, to get their interest all above 50%. And we will have the money to sign every single one of them. The question is, are they all going to sign with us? Because we haven't had, I think, a perfect draft yet where we've had everybody sign with us. Well, actually, maybe we have. I can't remember. So, let's see. One guy above 50%. Brian Morris. We'll get you up a little bit more. Slot value is $2 million. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. It's down to just Halpern and Rangel. Some of these guys might not end up being that good, and we'll still sign them anyways, but still, it's good to get all our prospects in regardless if they're not good overall or potential anyways. Okay, let's see what we got here. Both of them at 50% interest. Perfect, at least. Perfect. Halpern is accepted, which means Rangel, you could take all the remaining money. Okay, he's definitely going to accept. Let's just do 69% for the memes. And he declined it. Okay. Goddamn. Okay. He's going to wait till the last day, unfortunately, Rangel. He just didn't want the memes, apparently. But he should accept us. We could just go full on him for the last week, and then he'll probably accept. Okay, let's see. We got one more day. Auto on that. Sign draft picks. Let's see. Rangel, we'll go max on you. 93%. Wow. He should accept this. There you go. Okay, we get everybody that we drafted for one of the first times, I believe, which is great. Contract extensions, I'm going to leave this till the start of the next episode, but we're going to have to give Sixto a contract again. Let's go 3 days and find out what we got in this year's draft. Hopefully we made the right calls on some of those players. And I'm curious on some of those guys that we could have drafted. So, did we make the right call with Anton Tervino at number 6? More than likely, I feel like we did. But did we make the right call? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. B potential only, which it kind of sucks. I was hoping for A potential. But 73 overall at 18 is fantastic. That is really good overall for an 18-year-old. And also second baseman never or super high overalls, I don't think either. But he's really good at stealing. He's got good speed. His contact hitting is already pretty good. His power hitting could just improve a little bit. He's definitely not good at bunting at all. But, yeah, he looks really good. He looks really good. Really excited about that pick. It just sucks that he's got only a B potential. I was hoping for the A, like I said, but he might be just barely a B potential player. If he's only got like an 85 potential, that will suck kind of, but that's still a pretty good pick. Okay, let's see what our next pick was looking like. Ponce's C potential 50 overall. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, the potential at least is something, so he might be still like a 75 reliever, but he's not going to be that great of one. That kind of sucks. He does have decent hits per 9, actually. Well, a lot of it needs work, but his breaking ball is pretty good, apparently, or his break on his ball is pretty good. I don't know about Ponce. Yeah, Ponce, I'd say, is probably not a good hit for a second rounder. I just kind of took a random shot in the dark on him, though. And our next pick, Brian Morris, C potential only as well, but 63 overall at 18 is really good. So that's a decent starting pitcher prospect. Maybe he's just barely in the C's. Maybe he's closer to a B potential guy, but not too bad for the German pitcher. And in our next pick, Pablo Silva. Okay, Pablo. Not bad. Not bad at all. 52 overall at 19 isn't great, but obviously he's more of a project pitcher. But he's got A potential, which is great. So maybe another future ace for this team. Our next pick, Harvey Sperborri, 55 at 18 in C potential. Wasn't as good of a starting pitcher draft as I thought. A lot of these guys I thought would have like higher ceilings, but a lot of them are just kind of like average. So this might not actually be that good of a draft class. Who knows? So there's Barbori. At least he's got good stamina. His hits and Ks per 9 definitely need a lot of work though. So that's probably what I'll target for his practicing and stuff. Next pick, William Halpern. Okay. 47 overall is really low for a player, but he's got A potential as a catcher. So, yeah, he might be the future catcher of this team at some point, or he might take a long time to develop. But either way, I don't mind that pick, of course, considering he's got good potential. Our next pick, Rangel, only C potential as well, 57 overall. So, not as good of a draft as I was expecting, but at least some of these guys are C potentials. We got no D potential players, but yeah, Rangel definitely needs some work. Maybe he'll be like a more used as a reliever for this team. Who knows? But there he is. And that was our draft. And okay, so Trevino's got only an 87 potential, but I mean that's still a really good second baseman. I'm really excited for Trevino. Ponce only 75 potential. That's still not bad, I guess. He could be maybe a reliever at the MLB level at some point. Or maybe he'll be more utilized as kind of like a guy that bounces between Triple and the MLB. Brian Morris, looking solid. Might not be the best starting pitcher in the world, but he might be a good like number 5 guy in our lineup. Or he might be more of a high AAA player. Pablo Silva's got really good potential. Maybe he'll reach that one day. Sparbori's got somewhat good potential as well. Might be a fringe MLB player. Halpern's got really good potential, but will he reach that? It might take a long time. And Rangel's kind of in the same boat as like Sparbori and probably like Brian Morris. But Brian Morris is probably the best of the bunch. I'd say it's a solid draft. Obviously not the best draft we've ever had, but still. Trevino's going to be solid. Silva hopefully will be decent. Morris might be something. And then Halpern will hopefully be something too. The rest of these guys might be fringe players, but still. Solid draft. Let's take a look at what the rest of the league got, see if there was any big steals. Anybody that we were looking at. So, Ramon Morilla, 59 at 21 is not great. Kenya Mashidi, 53 at 18, 91 potential. So, another good catcher in the later rounds. So, guess the catchers were the way to go. Maybe we should have went with Omar Cruz. Maybe Omar Cruz is going to be a really good player. Jose Liriano, solid, 91 potential at 19. He's got only a 53 overall, but he was he a first overall pick? I don't remember. No, he wasn't because Modus was there. I know it was a first baseman that won first overall, so we'll have to check on that. 1 at 21. Oof. Good ceiling, but still. Steve Lopez is pretty damn good as a relief pitcher prospect for the Braves. 70 at 18, 88 potential. Don't think we scouted out him at all. Maybe we did, but maybe we just made the wrong call. What else we got here? Some solid players there for the Marlins. Bobby Gray, who we scouted out, was pretty good as well. Only B potential on him as well, but 65 at 18. We definitely looked at him. John Becker might be a solid prospect for the Mets there in the late rounds. Gustavo Ramirez, who we were looking at, who went second overall. 61 at 18 is pretty solid. 89 potential, so only a B potential as well for Gustavo Ramirez. We thought this guy was going to be like an A potential guy, but unfortunately, he's only a B potential for the Phillies as well. So, still some solid players, but this draft class might not have been as good as we were originally thinking. Campos, didn't this guy go like 4th or 5th? He went literally right before our pick, though, for Trevino. I'm pretty certain. He's got D potential. Oh, my God. Oof, Washington. Oof. Randy Wood, that's funny. Former NHL player's name. Sammy Rivas, 61 and 18, solid. I think we looked at him at one point, if I remember right. Jake Early. Yeah, this draft class isn't actually looking as good as I thought. Unless there's like one big stud. And maybe we should have went for Omar Cruz. Yeah, maybe we should have went for Omar Cruz. I thought he was going to be decent. He's only got B potential as well, but he is a pretty good starting overall at 18 for a catcher. So I think, yeah, we definitely had the right order of who we wanted to draft. If we went with Gustavo Ramirez, though, with our pick, I think we would have probably missed out on some good players here because Cruz, yeah, he's going to be a really good catcher for the Brewers. Mendoza, solid prospect, but low overall at 21. Nothing whatsoever there in Pittsburgh. Jeez, that's a terrible draft. Quintero, I think we were looking at him at one point. Solid. Justin Sanchez, really good. He was the first overall pick, I think. Yeah, I think this guy was the first overall pick. 72 at 18, 88 potential only, so not the highest ceiling, but still. Rodriguez got good ceiling, and Fiorentino, solid potential as well, but low overall at 21. Nothing there in Colorado. Leon Hoover there in the Dodgers. This guy's got a high overall at 18, but not a high potential. Torres, Alfonso Hernandez, solid prospect as well. Yeah, this draft actually was not as good as I expected. Expected there to be a lot better steals. Like, Louis Lega literally went right after our pick, and he was not that great. Like, he's going to be okay, but still. Like, there's not anybody super high overall-wise really out of this draft. 45 overall, oof, at 18, but 92 potential. Oscar Valencia, pretty solid, but yeah, 67 at 21 is pretty good. And he's got a high ceiling, so that's a pretty good pick there for the Rays. What else we got here? Anything else? Nothing there for the Blue Jays whatsoever. Oof. Yeah, this draft class, not great. There is a lot of good catchers in this draft, it looked like, though. David Park was another good guy with good potential. Ryan Roberts there for relievers. Dave Hill is going to be solid, looks like. Marco Francisco is going to be pretty solid outfielder for the Tigers. I think he went third overall, if I remember right. And Salman Valley, who we scouted out, is also not that good. Oof. 78 potential. Yeah, this is not a good draft. Not a good draft. Machado, solid for a catcher prospect, or not catcher, closing pitcher. Padilla, solid. And that is the draft. So I think all things considered, we had a pretty solid draft because a lot of teams didn't really hit on most of their picks. Trevino is the most exciting player for us for sure, and then we also have some good potential guys that I hope that actually reach that potential. I think our worst pick with this draft was probably Ponce because he's a low overall at 18, and he was a second rounder. But at least we got all our prospects, so that was good. So there's that. Final thing before I end this episode, I want to just take a look at our prospects, see who is doing what again, see if there's been any good improvements throughout our team. Actually, let's go through the lineup screen instead. Batting at 205 is Steve Schneider, 225 Rodonald. Cardenas is hitting a 273, still doing really well. His overall dropped off, which is weird. Huh. He's definitely having a worse year this year, but oh well. Sixto has been fantastic. 14 home runs, 46 RBIs, batting at 286. Yeah, Giancarlo Sixto is having a really great rookie year. That's great to see because he's one of the top guys for the future of this team. 203 for Gelman so far. Let's take a look at Double-A. Ray McMahon is being used as a designated hitter. He's been doing pretty well apparently as of late. Groves, Pinheiro is batting at 282. Love to see it. Yeah, it looks like some of our prospects are doing pretty well. Jeff Pipp, only a 228. At least he's getting better overall wise, but damn, that sucks about the potential dropping a little bit. So there is those player stats. Let's go to our pitching rotation as well. Garth Howe, has he improved at all in this episode? He's up to an 80 now. And is that FIP better? No, I think it's worse. I could be wrong with that, though. What else we got here? Montero is having a rough time in Double-A. I don't think this guy's going to reach his potential because we might have rushed him a little bit too much. Did we draft this guy? No, we did not. Let's go to Triple. Gary McAllister's having a great year. He's up to a 75 at 23. Yeah, he's doing really well. And I think that's it for prospects, right? Oh yeah, we also have the closers. Ken Roberts been solid. Not that great as a setup guy though. And then Dennis Lake has been pretty solid as a closer. Pretty solid. What's his overall now? 75. Not too bad. Getting some development. You love to see it. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Vancouver Reign Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will extend some contracts. We'll simulate the rest of the season. We'll simulate through the entire offseason. And yeah, we'll get set up for another season ahead. And yeah, I'm excited with the future of this team. A lot of good potential prospects coming in. And guys making noise like Sixto. Like, soon enough, we'll have to give probably Sixto a big contract, as he is probably the main piece to turning this team into a championship team down the road. But let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.